Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. We're the Hungry Gamers back with another episode of Dialing It In with Danny and Don. And as you can see, Danny and Don are here, which means you do not have to hear too much about me. We were such a moderate success with our first episode, we decided to bring it back for another. And hopefully this will be the last week that or at least the last week for a bit, where I'm doing all the game picking. We have several publishers that are interested in picking games, but with all the conventions happening right now, they just couldn't get away. So you're stuck with me again. And before we kind of get going, how was the last time for you guys? You're back for more, so I assume it was okay. But tell your fans.
I had fun.
You go first, Don.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. It's weird watching yourself. But I had fun producing it. I'm trying to work on my posture after watching a couple of minutes the last time. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Your posture is great, Danny.
She's like, I know this.
No.
I saw you straighten up when I said that. But
I was like, oh.
That was not an issue for you.
Reminds me of my mom. She used to always say that. Okay.
You go ahead, Danny.
A reminder. Yeah, same here. I being a teacher, I used to have to watch myself over and over and over again after teaching, so I don't like it. So I don't watch myself either. But I lived it and I loved it. So it's good. I don't know. It was new for me. I was a little nervous last time, much less nervous this time, but I'm excited.
Well, that's maybe be nervous because Don said he wasn't going to hold back this time.
Yeah, I was like, we have Don. I'll be fine.
He's like, I'm going after her. I'm going after her thoughts.
I'll be the good posture, and you go.
Yes, it's just sit up straight the whole time.
Yes.
And just let Don just slouch.
There you go.
All right, so jumping right on in. So for the first one that I picked this week, it's kind of unfair because I'm pretty sure Don's already backed it because he has a problem. And this is Castles of Burgundy, the special edition, which is on GameFound right now. So I picked this one because Castles of Burgundy is just a classic game. I got up on the screen right now all the various awards that's won over, well, I guess all in 2011, 2012. It's got an overall BGG ranking of 17. But really, the big thing to me is just how stupid expensive this thing is. So if you get everything, it is a total of oh, that's a group pledge. I won't do that. But
Isn't
it is
that 100?
Yeah, it's 150 euros just about. And at the very bottom, you could get, looks like five copies for only $580. So it's quite the deal. But the big thing about it is they're taking all the expansions, putting all the expansions into the box for Castles of Burgundy, and they're adding miniatures. I don't know why this game needs miniatures, but apparently it does. And I'll turn it over to you guys. Whoever wants to go first.
I'd like to hear Danny go first.
Because Don's embarrassed about what he's going to say and what he's already pledged.
Okay, so this is one of those games I need to play because I hear about it all the time. It won all those awards and everything, but I still haven't played it yet. So it's one of my next, when I'm at a con, I would like to play games, but like you said, the price, this isn't going to be the one I purchase. I'd like to play it first. Maybe if I really liked it, I would be okay with getting all the upgrades and things like that. It looks great. I like how it looks. But I've never played it before, so therefore I don't feel like I should upgrade it before I've even played it,
But it's got all those minis. And
I'm probably miniatures. The oddball out, and that minis don't attract me because I can't paint them. I'm not artistic like that. So to me, they're unfinished. I'm I don't know. So they aren't they're not going to sell me on something. It's going to be, I like the gameplay, and then, it has minis. Okay. and then I'll give them to Will to paint.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a lot.
It's something I would love to try to do, but maybe I'll try that at a convention too sometime when I have some free time.
Yeah,
Is
you just
try
do it and jump
painting.
in. That's why I
I
started
should.
doing it. Because I was all these dungeon crawls and stuff I play with the
Yeah.
gray plastic. I was like, it's embarrassing. I'm
But to
embarrassed.
me,
Doing
like
that
a
shit.
mini looks like I want it to be painted,
Yeah.
but I can't paint it.
But I just started doing it, and now they're good from far, but far from good, and that's really all you need.
All right.
All right, Don's chomping at the bit to
Your
tell
bad
us
minis
to
look
tell
really
you
good.
why you need this game.
Just to continue the tangent for a second, conventions are a great place to jump into painting because they always have like the paint and take table, and there will be people there that will give you little tips. That was my first experience, and it's a lot of fun. And they usually give you a free mini, and so there's no pressure. You're not ruining your game by painting that mini.
Nice.
But Don will be happy to bring his miniatures that you can paint for him at the convention.
Oh.
Sure. Hey,
I don't know
have
if you
a
want
starter
that.
set over there waiting for me to open it up, so I intend to paint at some point.
Yep.
So back to the project. I did not have to research this one. I'd been following it for a while. I wanted to comment on, well, first of all, I love Castles of Burgundy. It's definitely one of those ones that for a long time was out there and I hadn't played it. I first played this in February of 2020, so it was relatively recent, but I've played it a bunch since then.
How many times have you played this on Board Game Arena, Don? How many times?
I don't know. I would have to check. Dozens at this point. I taught you on Board Game Arena.
Dozens?
A couple. Couple dozens.
Someone's hiding the real numbers, I think.
But anyway, it's a game that I love, and as soon as this project was announced, I started following it. I like a feature of GameFound here. They allow updates even before the project launches, and that's not something you can do on Kickstarter. You can't even put up a page before the project launches unless it's like the private preview thing. So they had a full page for I think a couple of months before the project launched, and they were putting out updates and they were surveying followers. They put out 3 different versions of the art for the tiles and asked people what they liked better. And I thought that was really cool. I think I don't know if Awaken Realms or Ravensburger is running this project, but whoever's running it, I think is doing a fantastic job. And they're now doing these daily updates where they're revealing stretch goals, and they're not really stretch goals because they're not requiring that the project gets to a certain point. I mean, that might be happening in the background, but I'm sure it's well past wherever the stretch goals were if they have them hidden somewhere. But the castle sculpts are completely unnecessary, but they're revealing a unique sculpt every day. So I think every castle is going to be different, which is fun. And you don't necessarily have to paint them. You just have to pledge at the highest level, and then they will be sun dropped, which I think is a fancy way of saying they have a wash on them. I don't know if there's a difference, but
yeah, I think so. I think it's just the fancy way of saying we had somebody in the factory dip it in the stuff.
Yes, but sun drop sounds really cool. It gives it shading and everything, so it's not just a chunk of gray plastic, and so that looks good.
Yeah, that is the way around painting, Danny. If you just putting a wash and a little,
this is true.
What's got a little dry brush on there, so it pops, and then it looks like you've done something with it when you really haven't.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? I've never played an expansion for Castles of Burgundy, so I'm curious to see what they're including every expansion, and I think 1 or 2 new ones in this big box. They're including a copy of every possible duchy map for every player. In the current version, you have to randomly deal them out, and nobody can have the same map as anybody else unless you all play the base map. So now you can play any map where everybody has the same map. That's unnecessary, but
and apparently they're all double layered. It looks like.
Yes.
I can't even fathom how big this box is going to be.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that big in the pictures, but who knows?
But then it looks like is the expansion its own, or the stretch goals is its own box?
It looks like that, and then I think it was.
But it looks like the same size box.
Yeah, they revealed the insert yesterday, and the insert shows spaces for all the expansion stuff. So I don't know if it ships in 2 boxes and then it'll all fit in one. That would be nice. we'll see.
No, well, maybe it looks like another box just for the stretch goals. I mean, if you look at the picture, it looks like the castles are almost the same size as the box based on the scale that it's showing, which either means the castles are real
Massive.
big or the boxes are real small. So for anybody who's watching this now, I've just learned that the One Stop Co-op Shop is actually doing a giveaway of a deluxe all-in pledge for this. So, and they're
Nice.
friends of the channel. So go check it out. That should be out soon. Win a free copy or don't, so I can win one. You know.
The one other thing I wanted to mention is the acrylic tiles. I'm a sucker for acrylic tiles or components in a game that I love, and I know I'm going to play a lot. Especially in some. This is not a bag builder, but in a bag builder like Quacks of Quedlinburg, you know, the geek up bits that you can get from the BGG store are great. You know, that anything tactile like that, or
Every one of the tiles is going to be acrylic. Oh my
gosh! It's one of the
gosh.
upgrades, yeah. So at the all-in pledge, you get acrylic tiles and a playmat for the main board instead of a boring old cardboard board. So anyway, that's another thing that sucked me in. So I'll jump to the end and say, yeah, I'm backing this. I'm all in on this one.
All right, and Danny, so I assume that you are not jumping in on this. I
I'm
mean, it's probably
not,
cheaper
but
to
I
fly
do
out and
want to
play Don.
play. Yeah. So
Well, I believe Don is going to be at Gen Con, so perhaps we can all get a game there.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be boring
Seriously.
without neoprene and miniatures and acrylic, but
then I get a feel for the game. I need a feel for the game. Like sometimes I just can't picture. I'm a very hands-on learner. So
well, you know,
Don works for board games.
Don taught me how to play this one, and Peter Vaughn also taught us how to play this, and it is significantly more fun than it sounds. Like it, you know, roll some dice and pick a tile, and then the dice you rolled will tell you if you put the tile down. You know, but it's
I
significantly.
love
more
some
fun
tile placement though. So.
And the current version that's out there is famously ugly.
That is true.
Very boring. The original one from I don't know how many years ago is very boring and drab, and they released an anniversary edition in 2019 that did not really improve. Like they changed the colors but kept them drab. Is kind of
it just made the drabness slightly sharper.
Yes, they sharpened the drab. So
it was higher res drab.
This is the first very pretty version of this game, and I'm excited about that too. Like the drabness has not bothered me. Like the gameplay is amazing, and so it's never bothered me that it's ugly. But it'll be fun to have a pretty, very tactile version of it.
All right, so sounds like Danny's out. We already knew Don was in. This was a kind of a gimme for me, but so there we had Castles of Burgundy. Now all the rest of these, I got no idea where people are going to go on these. And the second one is one that Don sent to me. He said he hadn't looked at it. I think it's a lie, but he sent it to me and said, let's talk about this. This looks interesting. And with the best name in any Kickstarter campaign ever, it is called Colorful Inserts with Original Artworks for Popular Games. And Don, why don't you tell us what this mess is and why you wanted to talk about it, other than the amazing, very descriptive title.
Well, so yeah, I saw this one because I had an ad pop up online. So I really had not looked at it, and so I immediately sent it to you because it's fun to talk about Kickstarters and GameHound projects that are not actually games but are game related. So I thought this might be interesting to put in the mix. These are inserts. I think there are 8 games in this project that they have inserts for. Honestly, they're amazing. They're really gorgeous. They've taken the art from the games, I believe, with permission and cooperation from the publisher.
Yeah.
I think it said that. It said licensed.
Yeah, because there was, I think it was 2 years ago, there was a pretty successful one that someone put out for Gloomhaven. And like it made it, you know, they were like using Gloomhaven art or something. It raised like $1 million, and then Cephalofair was like, no. I mean, you know, I don't know all the details, but I have a vague recollection of something. But it has made a lot of money, and they were like, "We didn't tell you could do this."
Yeah.
Yikes.
But no,
So
this one seems like it is fully with permission of CGE and the others.
yeah. So I love a good insert. I love anything that helps set up a game, especially anything with a lot of bits, anything where you're handing, 20 things to each player. If all of those things are in one little box that you can hand them, it's great. I've made my own inserts. I've bought a lot of inserts.
And I believe you actually made your insert for one of the games that now has an insert option here, right?
Yes, I was going to mention that. So I own 4 of the 8 games here. I used to own Maracaibo. I don't anymore. Um, I already bought the folded space insert for Zulkin, so I already have that game organized. I can't see spending $35 on a new insert for it, even though that one
Yeah.
is probably the prettiest one here. Like the art for Zulkin is great, and they've really done a great job of incorporating it. And the boxes have those little lids that are cool. But mine is already organized. I designed a 3D printed insert for Whistle Mountain. Whistle Mountain is a game that, I know the designers. I play tested the game multiple times before it was published. I love that game. So when it came out, I was just in my first, 3D printing like excitement, and I designed an insert and printed it for that game, and I'm very proud of it. So that's not being replaced.
And the only thing he's ever printed off that 3D printer.
um, I have
No
a copy
comment.
of The Lost Ruins of Arnak. I've not actually played my physical copy. I played it with you at a con, Will. So it hasn't really come out, so I haven't had the urge to organize it yet. And then Alchemist, I think, is the one that tempts me on this project. We love Alchemist here at my house. We haven't played it in a couple of months, but if memory serves, it's not all that complicated to set up, which makes me feel like I don't know that I need a $35 insert for it. I think the prices are fine for these inserts. They're gorgeous. They seem well designed. So it's not really the pricing necessarily.
No, I
It's
mean
fun
after shipping, even for just one, because it's 15 euros shipping. So I mean you're
Oh,
talking $60 for one of them, or two
okay.
of them. It's $70 or less for $15 shipping. So you might as well buy two if you're going to buy one.
I had not looked at the shipping, so that makes a difference. I the one other thing I was gonna say is I think it's a little weird that there's absolutely no discount for buying multiple inserts. It's just $35 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 8. Just there's no benefit to buying multiple other than I want multiple. So I don't, usually you see some kind of a
Oh well,
discount
no,
there
well,
that would
I'm
draw
looking at it right
people
here.
in.
It says the triple insert pack save €5.
Interesting. Maybe it's on the shipping.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
I was
yeah, that's
looking at the
that. You
price
know what? You're
level.
right. That's interesting because it's 35 each. It's the I wanted the. It's like they just said save €5. It's not. It's like that thing I was doing at the flea market. I don't know if you were there, Don. We were both at Kubla Khan, Danny, and there was a flea market, and I was just shouting. I was like, 3 for the price of 3, and people were like, "Ooh!" Would come walking over before they stopped and thought about what I was saying. It's kind of like they've done this here with like more
Yeah.
of a lie.
Oh
So
gosh.
I've been kind of rambling on this, so I'll let Danny talk, but I do want to say I don't understand the dice tray for Zulkin. There are no dice in Zulkin. So I think it's just a dice themed or a Zulkin themed dice tray, but I just thought that was kind of funny.
And that's what everyone's looking for, really. Like when I'm
Hmm.
playing my dungeon crawl, I want to think about feeding workers over
Yes,
time.
exactly.
All right, Danny,
So
what do you think about this?
All right. I'm here for any kind of organization in your life, in your games, whatever. I'm a very big, I like things organized. Therefore, I like this Kickstarter. However, I don't own any of the games yet.
You've pledged for all of those, and you'll be getting the
So
games to fill them.
yes, I'm buying the inserts first, and then I will get the games. No, I can't back it because I don't have a purpose for them right now. But I've been wanting to. I've been considering Last Ruins of Arnak, but I have to space out my game purchases. But then just because I don't own any of them, I can't see a purpose for the inserts. But I'm here for any inserts and organization that anyone wants to put up. If it's good. If it's good quality, which these seem to be. So
Yeah, and I do appreciate that I believe the Arnak one that you mentioned, I think it already has space for the expansion in there. I believe.
and the Alchemist one as well.
Yeah. Now the real question though is because we all know Arnak's going to get more expansions. Like they're going to keep milking that
Right.
forever. So am I going to have to buy a new one?
That's always a question. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll keep my empty box. Thank you very much with my baggies, my thousands and thousands of baggies.
Yeah, I have too many baggies for my
I
projects.
ran out the other day. I was organizing something. And I ran out of bags.
That's
It was
not
Do you
traumatic.
need some? I can bring you some to
No, because
Origins.
more crap keeps coming in.
Okay.
Like, I mean, there's probably baggies in this backyard chickens if I open. Is there baggies in here, Don? Because I'll open it right now if there's baggies.
actually no. Because he designed the wells and the insert to hold things. There aren't any
I
baggies
see.
in
Danny, would you like a copy of Backyard Chickens? Because apparently I have no use for it now. There's no baggies
Wow.
in there.
Wow.
I'll bring you
Yes.
some baggies. Well,
Living the dream.
Everyone, if you're going to Origins, bring baggies for
Oh
Will.
my gosh! It just people just come find me, just throw little.
Yeah. He'll be
I
at the
get-
I love this
sovereignty
idea.
booth at some point.
Yeah, I come back on the plane and they're like they get pulled aside. They're like,
Why
"What
do you have
drugs
all
you
these?
selling? What drugs you selling?" No, it's just games. They're for
It's
chicks.
just game baggies.
Yeah, we get a lot of nerds.
It's
through
for
here,
organization.
but this is not believable. No, organization, go get back and insert. You know.
Maybe.
All right. So Don, are you gonna back one? I know you haven't yet because I haven't gotten the email that says Don is a backer.
yeah.
You get
Um,
emails when Don's a backer.
Yeah, you can follow people, and so
I
there's a few
don't. I did not know.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't. I never remember how you actually do it. Like you have to click through stuff. But I
Sure.
started doing it with my buddy Matt, Streamline Matt is what he's called on the channel, and we followed each other so we could pass judgment. So it's like if we're gonna back a game, we're gonna get a text that's be like, "Why are you doing that?
mhm.
Why are you doing that? Really? Is that what you really want?" And it's really helped both of us back less.
There you go.
So,
I
but then
really do. I get a message from Will about within 10 minutes of every time I back a Kickstarter. Although he
And
never tries to talk me out of it, he just makes fun of me.
then I'm just like, oh, that's well, because sometimes it'll be like 6 things on one
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
Six.
It's efficient.
Tuesdays are bad
There's
for
one of
Don's
those
wallet.
days.
Mhm.
Tuesdays aren't good for Don's wallet. Very bad.
You gotta
But
support
they're
him early.
exciting.
Yeah.
So you're asking if I'm backing this. No, as exciting as the free keychains are, I'm not backing at this point. I'm gonna keep staring at that Alchemist organizer because we really do like that game. This project reminds me that an expansion exists for that game, and I need to track that down. And I might need an organizer for it. But so far, I am not backing it, and no, I have not clicked the follow button.
Ooh, excuse me, not even following. All right, Danny, how about you?
No, I don't have any of the games. Like,
How many
It's
days
not-
does Danny have to buy one of the games before the project ends?
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, there is time. I mean, there's a lot of time before it
time
shows
to
up.
buy?
Let's see. This is
Oh, there
going
you go.
for another 9 days. And you have 9 more days to get a game, play the game, realize you need to organize said game, and back it. I mean, that is,
Right.
Plenty of time.
yeah. I mean, you could probably ask your husband to go out right now and pick up one of the games.
Probably.
And by the
We could
time we're
probably
done
find them.
recording, it could be punched.
There you go. Well,
Uh, yeah.
we'll see. I'll give you some days, but for right now, I'm not backing.
All right. All right. Now, this next one here, this is one that I'm pretty high on. It's got 10 days left. It's raised almost $1.1 million. And this is Arcs from Leader Games. And I got to play this on TTS only. I reached out to Brooke at Leader Games, who's just awesome, by the way. But I reached out to her and I was like, I don't suppose I could get a demo of this. And she was like, no, but you can have the files, figure it out yourself. And I was like, thank you. And so got to work through it, played a few times. And so this is their latest. It's a 4X game that uses trick taking as the main mechanic. And I'll leave it there. And let's, who went first last time? Donnie, you went first last time, I think?
Yep.
I think
All
Don
right,
did.
Danny, you're up.
I'll go first. Well, it's Leader Games, which they have some great games, which, It's always good. The player count is 3 to 4, which, you know, for those who didn't watch last week, usually just play with my husband. So it's usually 2 players. But I do appreciate that they made it 3 players. Sometimes with these like area control games, people will be like, "Oh, you can play with 2." And then it's like we are just constantly like it's the same person back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, this is not fun.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that they made it 3 players instead of like, oh, it can be 2. I love trick taking games. It's just a mechanic that really resonates with me. I don't know. Like skulking is my game. So I like that. Plus, I like that it's not only trick taking, like I usually only play it where trick taking is the main mechanic and the only mechanic. So the incorporating like area control into it it'd be interesting, I think. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Those are my first thoughts.
All right, Don.
Yes.
So I'm really intrigued by the trick taking element of this too. I just played in March Brian Boru at Dice Tower West, which is another kind of trick taking area control game, and I thought it was super clever and original. So I'm intrigued by that part of it. I have a tendency to bounce off of Cole Worley games, and I realize I am in a very small minority there. But I played PAX Pamir many, many times because one of my gaming friends loves it and picks it all the time, and I have won it several times, and I've never really enjoyed playing it, which I feel terrible saying because it's a gorgeous production and I can see how brilliant the game is, and it just doesn't fire off any enjoyment for me, and I can't even say why. I haven't played Root in a few years. We got it fairly early on in our collecting phase, and another game that's brilliant, but we didn't play it over and over and over again like everybody else does. It's just kind of been on the shelf for a few years, and so I go in skeptical for games by Cole Worley just because it's a personal thing, and not a personal thing. It's a me
Yeah, well,
thing.
how did he hurt you, Don?
I know exactly. I have clicked the remind me button on this one because I'm intrigued by it. I watched your video on it when it came out, Will, and you made it sound really interesting. I haven't really dug into it enough to fall in love with it yet. I watched the video at the top of the page and I got really nothing out of that. It was kind of a vague backstory thing at the beginning, and then a bunch of word salad game words, and nothing really that told you how the game played. But there's lots of how the game plays stuff down below, but I need to dig into it more and decide on this one. So I'll
I
jump
will
to
say,
no, I have not backed it yet, but
and so what I got to look at, there's a whole campaign part of it that
yeah,
I didn't get to see, which I think is reminiscent of maybe what Oath is doing.
yeah,
Maybe so. There is a lot more than what I got to play. I even see that the board's bigger if you're doing the campaign mode, which perhaps explains the discrepancy in how long it says the game may take. Your first game in the rule book, it says it might take you 3 hours, and then what we played 4 of us or 3 of us on Tabletop Simulator. We all learned it in that moment, and we were still done in like 90 minutes.
Hmm.
So there's a lot more than what I actually experienced. But what are you thinking? Um, uh, is this one that you're thinking about, Danny, or you're just 3 to 4 players has you right out?
I'm clicking the remind me button. I'm still stuck yet because, like, again, so much of my gameplay is just the 2 of us. So, but we still play with other people too. But
Considering making new friends to justify this purchase.
I know we do need to make some friends. But yeah, I like the campaign part too because it's like it just makes it different. Just more to it, which is nice to have some replayability. But yeah, I'm clicking remind me, but I'm not backing it right now. Still have some things to think about. So,
But we could play a game of it.
we could.
We could do that.
That's
I'm
true.
interested.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a visual
sucker for
learner.
trick taking.
I gotta think playing things really helps me. Like,
All right, so we
that's
got two maybes on arcs, which I guess
yes.
makes us the only people that are maybes on it because they are 10,633
I
backers.
know.
And that's
That's
everybody else.
awesome. That's
Yeah, with
awesome for them.
10 days ago. All right, jumping into the next one. Our next one, there's this one here. I picked this one 100% based on the name of the game.
Hmm.
I know nothing else about it. I was flipping through, but it's a game about dogs called Bark Avenue.
And
And I
it's
was
set
like,
in Manhattan.
and so
Yeah.
that had to happen. And Don, you have now actually increased my knowledge about the game 100%
Ah,
by telling me it's
glad I
in
could help.
Manhattan.
There are dogs in it too.
Well, that I
So
knew.
you know
Come
Did
on,
you
I'm not.
know?
Yeah, I'm not that dumb. Wouldn't that be amazing if it was actually about trees and about tree bark, and I just was totally off base? That would have been
Oh, I want that game now.
well. You can make an expansion to Backyard Chickens.
There you go.
Mm.
Somebody
About
can
tree
come up with
bark.
a way to make a game about tree bark. I'm really in. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's a very long game. It's very very long. It grows on you. Um, you're welcome for that.
Well done.
All right, Danny, why don't you start us about our
Yeah.
not tree bark game?
So from what I saw and what I like read and watched videos on, the theme is very strongly integrated, which is always nice to see. Like, I don't only get a game because its theme is strong, but it's kind of nice when you're playing a game that has like, oh, I get it, lots of connections to the theme. Um, I think I met these folks last year at cons. So I was like, this game sounds so familiar, and I think I did meet them. But it seems like there's lots to do, but yet simple actions, which is kind of what I like in gameplays, where it's like there's a lot you can be doing, but like when it really comes down to it, like it's not really hard things to learn. Because I like to teach it to people who maybe aren't hardcore gamers yet, but like so I like to have games like that as well, so that I can play those with like my family who isn't.
Once they've mastered Bark Avenue, you can introduce them to arcs.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, there you go. And then one day the tree bark game.
Well, right. I mean, that's that's like I feel like that's got to be one of those mega civ games or
Yeah.
the mega games where you actually have to have like 40 people in the room at the same time.
Talk about tree bark.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's really cute. I would like to play it because I think I grasp it. I'm pretty sure I get it. But at the same time, like I would really like to play it too to get a good.
No, I will
feel
say
for it.
as I'm flipping through, if I was loaded, not just full of it, but if I was loaded, I would absolutely get Beatrice the board game dog into the game because they have
Yes.
a pledge level for
Yes.
$300 to feature your dog in every copy of Bark Avenue. Which
Were those not all sold out? I thought that all the
is it all
dog
sold
in the
out?
game. Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
think so.
It might be.
Oh, yep, no longer available. Oh wait, that's for a large dog. Oh, they broke it down by dog size.
Mm-hmm.
Your medium dog.
Yeah, because like when you walk them, like you have to manage. Like some dogs don't like walking with like big dogs, and some so you can't walk them all together. Like you have to really think about what dogs you're walking at what time. And I like that. I don't know. It seems like a lot of management,
they are
which I like.
they're all sold out. They are all sold out of those. But you know what's really kind of sad? If you look, they have another level, which is you sponsor a foster dog, which is like great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only like 7 people are into that. It was no, put my dog in the game. I don't care about other dogs. I care about my dog. That's all we got.
So there are a lot of people that think like you, but are loaded. Well,
apparently, or have problems. As I'm looking at Don.
I mean, if you are a dog person, you're backing this game, is my guess. Like
for sure.
No, I mean it's not. I mean they're not doing poorly. They're 200%, 48,000, 22,000. But with 740 backers, so that's people are spending a lot of money on this thing.
Yeah.
They want their dog in the game, Will.
I know, and now I can't have the.
I
You know what? They
don't
really
blame
want
them.
my dog. I hope one of these
that's a
people
cool
that backed
feature.
it did it so they can get my dog in the game because that's really would be the ideal.
Yes, I'm sure that's what they do.
Probably
Mhm.
like all of them. It's just gonna be
Yes,
all Beatrice.
all Beatrice.
All right,
Uh,
Don, what do you think?
Uh, I'm not a dog person by any stretch, so I'm just out on the theme. I don't dislike dogs. I'm just not into dogs, and I don't understand people who are into dogs. Your dog is great, Will. I have nothing against your dog or you. I just it's not a theme for me at all.
Well,
And
she loves you because you give her treats when you come over. So
that's right. Beatrice is great. Uh, I'm not at all into the poop tokens. Upgrading them to squishy doesn't help. It kind of makes it worse. Uh, so
He's not a
yeah,
dog person. He doesn't get
I,
it.
I see people walking down the street with a little poop bag swinging in their hand. I'm like, why do you do that to yourself? But I appreciate that they clean up. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's just me. And I know I'm sounding like a curmudgeon, but like the theme isn't for me. The mechanics actually look really great, and I
you
think
didn't
the
sound
price
like a
is good.
curmudgeon until you poo-pooed the squishy poop tokens. Then that's when you became a curmudgeon.
So I think it's a very pretty game. The mechanics look interesting. I can't get past the theme. It's not a theme for me. So that's kind of where I land on it.
All
Also, I
right.
don't want to roll a die with poop on it either.
Wow. For someone that has a lot of children, I would think you'd be like used to getting the poop on your hands. I
It's
mean, I
been
guess
a
it's been a
while.
few years at
Yeah,
least, like at least 3 years.
they're
But
15 and older. Yeah, it's been a while. Um, yeah, and I have chickens in the backyard, obviously, and they're very messy. So it's not necessarily about the mess. It's just I'm not a dog person. I don't have dogs,
If it
so
was a
it's
game about walking chickens, would you be on board?
maybe.
he says maybe.
I'm not
Come
sure
on,
how that
Maybe.
works.
you're on board for a
Yes.
bark growing game. You're on board for walking chickens. All right,
So that's
Okay.
all it is. I just don't connect to the theme.
all right, so I'm assuming not even hitting remind me, Don.
No, I wish
Dan,
them all the luck in the world or all the success in the world, but no, it's not for me.
what if they were to take the squishy poo tokens out? It, just for you.
I still don't want a game about walking dogs.
All right. How about you, Danny? Hit and remind me backing.
I
Let me
think Meeting
know.
Remind Me, again, I think it's a good one for like a shorter, quick game. Again, for if we have people in town that are new to gaming. So
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
will be looking for these people at Gen Con and Origins to see if
For
they're around.
sure. I want to play
Yes.
it. I would love to see it. Again, because I think I heard about it like last year. So it'd be
All right.
great to see it
All right. That
live.
is Bark Avenue. Don hates dogs, and so he's out. Danny's a
It,
maybe.
Now you know.
if they have a booth or something at Origins, I want to see pictures of whatever swag they're giving away because they're probably going to be creative with
If there are
promos.
squishy poop tokens, I am
Exactly.
bringing you one.
I assume
Yeah.
so.
We'll get you a like the biggest one that they have because my guess is they would do a plushie,
Yeah, well, I was just thinking because our Peter Vaughn from Cardboard Alchemy made tons of money from the little dragon plushies that he did.
Mhm.
So I can only assume there'll be poop plushies.
Plushies.
Plushies? Is that what you call them?
Plushies. Sure. I like it. We can coin that term, right?
Ploopshies. Ploopshies.
Ploopshies.
There we go. We're gonna workshop this. Don't worry. We're gonna cut
All
you in
right.
on the
Can't
process.
wait.
Yeah.
Oh, this next one, the one that has broken Don's brain. He sent me a
Oh,
message.
I may
He
have
told me, he's like, I
spoiled
feel like I need a beer before I continue reviewing this. And this is Crossroads Inn, the Innkeeper's Creed. And so I picked this one as I was just flipping through. I mean, I glanced at it. It looks like maybe the game could be interesting, but mostly because I was like, other than the AEG game that's just come out, which is called like the Guild of Guildmaster Artisan Guilders Pushing
The
Cubes
Guild
or
of
something.
Merchant Explorers.
Yes, which is the most Euro game I've ever heard of.
Mhm.
This is a close second. So take it away, Don. Tell us about the Crossroads Inn, the Innkeeper's Creed.
Yeah, so this is one I had not heard of at all. which is funny because it was apparently on GameFound last year and didn't fund. I didn't realize that until I started watching one of the content creator videos for this one because I was having such a hard time figuring out what this game is. And I noticed that the video was from sometime in 2021, and that's when I figured out that this game had been out there once already. Um, still don't know how you play this game. The video at the top is 9.5 minutes long, and about halfway through, I felt like I was going insane. Um, sorry, I'm trying to be nicer, but I'm not a
That's
big fan
nice.
of.
Everybody that
Chooses
has
the
done is
phrase
nice.
"going insane."
I'm
Trying
saying
to
that
be
I'm
nice.
failing. I'm trying to be nicer, but no, it's just like it was a lot of just talking, and my ADD was going crazy. I'm not a big fan of the designer talking to the camera Kickstarter video. It's never very convincing, I guess. And this was the designer talking to the camera for 9.5 minutes with voiceover because this is not an English speaking group of designers, which is fine. It made it that much more unengaging, I guess. You're not even hearing that person's voice. It looks like there's a lot of interesting content in this game, but I can't tell exactly how it plays. And it looks like there's a whole lot of content. And so it could be overwhelming, was kind of the vibe that I got from it. It's apparently based on a video game. I've never heard of the video game. And I don't know, there were things in it that sounded interesting, but I could not figure out how the game played. And I don't understand why there are 4 miniatures in this game. And I say that knowing that I'm excited about the castles and Castles of Burgundy, which are unnecessary. But there are 4 miniatures, and I just never saw where they were used in the game.
I mean,
I
just
think
think
it
you
was
could
4.
play your Castles of Burgundy, and then when you're getting tired and need a drink, you can just go to another table. You can play your Crossroads Inn. Like they're thematically connected.
Sure. Oh,
Yes.
and that's another thing. Like this game is about becoming king by running a successful inn. And I
Is
don't
it really?
understand that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
said that somewhere at the beginning of the video, and they never really connected those two things. Like they say that at the beginning, and then they immediately go into, and then you're running your inn and appealing to customers, and I never got
Yeah.
where that makes you a king.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, clearly you're not
there's multiple
daring.
people trying to claim the throne or something, like saying they have the whatever. So then they just kind of like threw it out the window, and they're like, "All right, the best like inn runner will now rule the kingdom." It's like,
Well, because at
oh,
the
okay,
top of the board or the text, become become one out of 4 competitive innkeepers struggling to grow their taverns in pursuit of fame, fortune, and renown in the medieval kingdom of Yorvale. Dare to become the legend and the ultimate innkeeper. It doesn't say anything about becoming king.
oh, it said that in
Well,
the
I guess maybe
video.
that is the ultimate innkeeper, right? You're the king.
Sure, yeah,
Kingdom's your inn.
They definitely said it at the beginning of the video, but I
it's in
didn't
the
really see
video.
it. Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere else. Maybe they said king of innkeepers, and it sounded like become the king, or maybe it was mistranslated.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
It
I
could have
don't
been.
I don't watch Kickstarter videos anymore. I just jump right into the stuff.
I don't either because they usually don't convince me to buy the game. They talk me out of it more often than convince me to buy it.
So
So I
maybe you
usually
should
skip
watch
right
more
past it.
videos.
Well, I'm doing that for these so that I give a fair assessment of the project page. But yeah, I usually scroll right past them like you. So
All right.
it looks really interesting. It's not a well organized project page, and I didn't learn how to play the game.
This would be a very funny time for me to say that I got an email saying Don Gilstrap is a backer, but sadly, I cannot do that. Did you even hit the remind me button, Don?
No.
Wow, he even said that with disdain. He's like, no.
Again, I wish these folks luck, but I don't understand what the game is, so it's hard to back a game when the page doesn't tell me how to play.
All right, Danny, how about you? What do you think? We spent a lot of time there with Don.
Well, I think, and I could be wrong. But what I think is, so you have this board, right? And then there's something about like you need to like create different like shapes and stuff, I think, based on like you put certain things in certain spots and then you get points for them or something. I don't know. That's what I kind of grasp. Again, I could be wrong. Sorry if I am. But if that is the case, I enjoy that kind of mechanic of like creating the right space. I also didn't like that they felt like they had to point it out, but I like that they have it. There's like a catch up mechanic, I guess, with like recipe cards. It made me nervous that they pointed it out because I'm like, I don't know. I don't like it when you like clearly lose, like miles before the game is over. You know, like I like to kind of play the game all the way through and then you figure out who wins and loses. I don't like to be like, oh, I'm gonna lose anyway. Like I always finish, but it's like, ah. So I like that they're in there if that is what they do, but I don't know, I'm a little nervous, like, I don't know, does the game like what happens if you don't get the recipe cards? Like, is it like not good? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think this one's for me, just couldn't also quite grasp it. In terms of backing it. Again, I'm always down to play something and try it out, but I don't think I can risk it and not know exactly what's going on. I also watched the video at the top. But yeah.
Didn't get much from. Yep. Don't you don't want to back something without at least having a little bit of confidence that you know what.
Yeah, like I just like I think I'm understanding it, but I like not enough to like. Oh yeah, I think if like that I'm willing to risk it, like I'm like I don't know. So I too wish them the best of luck.
You don't want to be like Don and have a bunch of games behind you that just stay on the shelf.
Yes, I'm trying to keep mine to this cube.
9 games.
My 9 games. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
It's actually got one on the bottom. Fourth row.
So it doesn't fit, huh? Uh-oh.
No, it's got t-shirts on the bottom for sovereignty stuff. So anyway.
All right. We're going to jump to the last one here. And this one I cannot imagine is for either of you. But for a very short campaign, it's only I think it was only a 10-day campaign. They've already raised close to $700,000, almost 4,000 backers. And this is from Steamforge game, RuneScape Kingdoms, Shadow of Elvarg, which as near as I can tell, is also coming off based on a video game, which makes sense. A lot of what Steamforge does is based on existing IPs. So who's up first? I think Danny, you're up first this time.
I think I am. Yeah. Okay. So here's my thoughts. I need to play a campaign game. I have never played like this kind of game before. So I can't grasp them fully. Like I need to play one of them in order to like understand it better. That being said, I also don't have like I never played the video game or anything, so I don't have any like nostalgia or connection to it. Not that you would need to, but I don't have that also working for me in terms of getting this. I was confused on the game. It says 60 to 90 minutes, but then some of the comments said like it took them 3 hours to play. I don't know if that's also just the type of game. I could be.
Usually, what they mean by those is an individual adventure,
like learning,
60 to 90 minutes, and then but you play more than one is usually what that is.
Okay. I'm a short game player. Like 2 hours is kind of like my max limit of attention for a game. It can depend on the game, but for the most part, I try to stick to like shorter games. I don't know. I don't know why, but it's just what I prefer. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I don't think I'll be backing it again, if you're ever at a con and you want to play a game like this with me, please tell me because I want to try different types of games. I haven't tried this kind yet. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
All right, Don, the guy who has all those games, I don't think has a single dungeon crawl.
I do. You sold me one. Drunagor, right?
Oh, two. I sold you two. I also sold you Altar
Yes,
Quest.
yes. My
But you've
friend
never
has
purchased
borrowed that,
one.
so it's not on my shelf right now.
Yes,
Um,
you've never purchased one that you didn't get for an extreme discount.
I don't think I have, and I have not played Drunagor yet. Um, so I also don't know this video game. I've never played it. I don't know that I'd even heard of it. This is clearly one of those you love the video game, you need the board game kind of campaigns because there's not a lot of introductory material. It's kind of like here's this class and here's this class. There's a lot
Yeah.
of presumed knowledge in this campaign. Is kind of how I felt about it. I think the minis look great. It looks like it's got a lot of great content. Um, because I have Drunagor and a lot of like campaign type games sitting on my shelf, I can't bring myself to add another one, especially a very expensive one that looks like it's going to take up a lot of space waiting for me to play it. So it looks like a lot of great content. It looks like something that's probably going to really appeal to fans of the video game. But I don't know the video game. Um, I worry that this would just sit on my shelf because there's so much content. It's going to feel daunting to get into.
But look at all
So
those minis that you could paint, Don.
there is that.
So many I
And I
could
do.
practice on.
There you go.
Yeah,
And I do appreciate that they've used different colors of plastic in this. I love it when publishers, Cardboard Alchemy is doing that. Peter Vaughan does that in the games he produces. Colored plastic so that you don't have a bunch of gray sitting on your table if you don't have time to paint or are afraid to paint your minis. And so these are in different colors, I think, to go with the different factions or something, or maybe they just have colors so that it's not
yeah.
gray.
Yeah, I think it's like the heroes or the that you're doing are blue, the bad guys are red, and the
Yeah.
NPCs, which is good, but in itself was kind of interesting to me that there's NPCs that you can talk to. I think those are the grayish white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And thank you for mentioning that because that was something that like jumped out at me. Because my kids are very into role playing. They love a good NPC, and that was the one thing, I stopped scrolling and I'm like, wait, there's NPCs in this game. That's kind of cool. It wasn't enough, but that's interesting. It's unique. You're right.
You know, yeah, no, when you talk about space, everything I know at Steamforged is yes, it's a lot of stuff. I just recently did a review of God tier for them, and they maybe sent me, I'm gonna go with 40% of the stuff you can get for that game, maybe a little bit less. And it's well, right now it's in a box underneath my table because I do not have space, but it would fill up an entire cube plus some behind me. That's only like 40% of it, so it's a lot of stuff. So I'm guessing neither of you are into it at all. It's not going to be the one that gets you to go dungeon crawling, Don.
No, I would love to play this at some point just to experience it. It looks like a good design from what I saw, but no, it's not something I'm ready to invest in.
Not for you. Danny wants to play it also.
Yes, I need to play a dungeon crawl. So anyone out there watching wants to play one,
find her at a
teach
con.
one at a con.
Make sure you bring.
Be
all
prepared
of the
to answer questions. I am
They
one
must
of
all
those
be painted,
learners.
or she won't play.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, you make me sound high maintenance.
I'm just going off.
But
of,
if they are painted, I will compliment them. So if you are looking for compliments,
so she'll play if they're unpainted, but she won't have fun. But she will.
no, I will just hate every second. Oh no, he's
Don,
joking.
when are we going to get chicken minis?
Yes, Don.
Maybe in the next edition.
Well, we need that because and they can do exactly what they do in the Crossroads Inn with those minis.
Okay, I'll have to learn that game so that I know what that is.
I don't think anybody knows what they do in the Crossroads Inn. But all right, so no backing. Gonna hit the remind me even, Don.
On this one, no.
Not even the remind me. How about you, Danny? Not even the remind me.
No.
Can't get in. Well, I will admit I hit the remind me on it. I'm leaning away from it simply because I don't have space, and I have one. In my site right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and behind me, 7, 8. I have 8 dungeon crawl style games. Oh, 9. There's another one over there that I have yet to complete. 10. There's another one.
Are there
Uh,
any in shipping boxes out in the living room that you just got?
um,
You have to think about it.
well,
Uh,
here's my shame. I know there's 2 more coming,
Hmm.
but I haven't gotten a shipping notice yet. Oh, and I have a prototype sitting on my table right now of another one that I'm supposed to test.
so you like dungeon crawls?
I do, and I keep. Oh, there's another one right there. Right,
What are we at?
They're
13?
reproducing.
it's a lot. It's not healthy. Um, but I do have I have Oathsworn and I have Stars of Ikarios, both coming sometime soon. And then there's another one, Isofarian Guard, that I kind of wish I hadn't backed. I think I backed that one on excitement, but it was like 8 years ago when I backed it, so I'll show them. But the point is, I have a whole bunch of them out there, and I can't keep all of them, but I need to finish them first. Like I just sold off my oh, now I can't remember what it's called. This is great video. This one Jeremy Howard's always going about, Don, from Greenbrier Games. Now I can't remember. Well, whatever. I'll put up a little thing on the screen. Everybody see what I'm talking about. But that was a really cool game. It was a lot of fun. But I just,
Obviously.
yeah, I can't. Oh, it's going to drive me insane. I just put out a video on it too.
Is it their new one?
No, it's it's their big. It's the one that they have a whole series of games for. It's the expansion was Fall of the Spire. Like I can tell you exactly how to play the game, but now I just can't think of it. But anyhow, so that was a really good game. But I sold it. I sold it off because I can't. Are you looking it up, Danny? Are you saving me right now?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, from Greenbrier Games.
Folklore?
Yes, thank you. Folklore: The Affliction. That's the one.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but like I just had let that one go. It was really good, but I don't have the space for it, and other stuff keeps coming in. And I'm just constantly looking for how to get rid of stuff. So for that reason only, I'm like I've only hit to remind me on it. And if Steamforge is at one of the cons, well, no, the campaign will be done. I won't have to worry about it. Yeah, I would probably
You could lay
play
it back.
There you go.
Don't say that.
You can't lay it back.
Yep, thank you. And I mean, I also have a Madara up here, which has 2 more huge boxes, which I do have those eventually coming at some point also. And so with all those together, that's probably like 400 hours of game. So I don't need to turn in to the Don version of dungeon crawls as he is with Euros.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's saying
It's
I have too
amazing.
many games.
You walk through Don's game room, and it's just about any Euro that you could want is there. Just about.
That's an exaggeration.
I have to figure out my style.
After that great bit of footage, which I've hit remind me, they're not into dungeon crawls enough. Danny's not sure if she even likes them, so I'm not going to throw down that much.
I've never
It
played.
would fill a whole one of your shelves back there. You'd have to throw Wingspan away.
Mm-hmm.
Tragic.
Or throw
No,
Ticket Ride away.
I can't. Well, I just have to clear out the bottom part.
Toss them. Just you'll have to bring the shirts to Origins and start giving them away. So
yeah, I can't store these any more games.
Yep. Everybody, take a shirt.
Take a shirt.
Anyhow, last thoughts, final thoughts, anything you're excited about, what you got coming? Because I don't think, other than Don backing the first one, no winners for y'all this week. So what are you excited about? And we'll sign off from there.
Very well this time. I'm excited about Castles of Burgundy. That's the only thing that's coming to mind right now. I know I've got other things coming, but that's the current project that I'm excited about.
How about you, Danny? Excited about anything?
I am excited for Origins because I'm hoping I get to play some of these games, or they'll preview them or demo them or something.
Yeah,
new Kickstarters coming up.
I went
and
through.
JetCon.
I started going through kind of the very late the events at Origins to see because I have some time just to be on my own and just do what I want. Not a lot, but I have some. It is overwhelming to try to go through all the events and like sign up for stuff. I mean, flipping through, and I was like, how do you even? I don't know how to choose. So I just did nothing. I'll just walk around and sit down places until they kick me out.
That's mostly my plan for Gen Con. It'll be my first time going. I'm signed up for one event
Yay.
only because my friend did all the work.
There you go.
He really wanted to do the actual dungeon crawl or whatever it's called.
Oh, the
the
LARPing one.
Yeah. Which
So
LARPing is
Wait.
not something I've ever done, but I don't know if it's LARPing or if it's just a life-size dungeon crawl. But
Oh.
yeah, it's what's it called though? It
is it Folklore of the Affliction? Because that's what everything is.
no, it's
that you
like
can't
a
find
big.
from now on.
Isn't like a real life like
yeah,
my
it's got a name like actual dungeon crawl or live dungeon crawl or something like that. But again, my friend did all the work, so I don't really know the name.
yeah.
But
I saw it. I think I've seen it at if it's the same True Dungeon.
yes,
That's it.
that's it.
Yes, it was at Game Hole Con in Wisconsin that we went to last year.
And did you try it?
No, because I was told it's kind of like a haunted house, and those really aren't for me. Like in terms of like, there might be people jumping. I could be wrong, but someone told me that, and I was like, I'm gonna stay out here. I'm not like any kind of like, I get scared easily, so I'm like, meh, I don't need.
Yeah, for the people I know that have done it, they've all said it's a lot of fun, but it's not.
Yes,
that's something
I have heard great things about it, but I also heard other things that I
like that. I like how she censored herself because she's being recorded.
I'm
I've heard
trying
great
to
things. I've
like,
also heard she's like, nope, can't say that.
like
can't say
Don's
that,
like,
can't
my
say
friend put it all together, and here I am like, it sounds scary. I'm sorry.
I'm not
I
big on
don't
haunted
truly know what
houses
it is.
either.
I've
so
never done it. I've just heard things from people, which
yeah.
through the grapevine could be wrong. So
I
Well,
think
we'll
my
have to
son
Try it
Adrian will
out.
be very into it.
Yeah, we'll have to pop over when Don's coming out, see if he comes out weeping.
There you go.
yeah, tell me if it's like a haunted house. Like I want to hear if that is what it's like, or what is it like. Tell us
will
the
let you
next
know.
time we do one of these.
I'll report back
Yeah.
after August.
All right.
Oh,
We're just babbling. So anyhow, everybody who's been watching and I guess just watching because this is not a podcast. Thanks for watching. Drop in the comments just how wrong they are,
yes.
or maybe they're right. Have you backed any of them? Can you explain to us how to play Crossroads Inn? That would be great. And make sure you check out Backyard Chickens, which is now available from August Games. Buy a copy or contact Don. He has 40 or so in his house and he needs space. And also make sure you check out Sovereignty. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Bye.
So at his total nerd moment, Don, my copy of the expansion for Reckoners showed up.
Uh-huh.
And I backed the original game because I like the books. And it has for one of the minis, you know how you see some of those minis nowadays recently that have like the different colored like effects on them, like it'll be the gray plastic and then part of it will be like a different color plastic.
Yeah.
Well, so they have that for one of them and it is clearly the wrong color.
Oh no.
Like the guy's name is Limelight. He shoots lime colored stuff and they made it orange. I had a nerd rage moment. Don, you seem less concerned than you should be about this. This is a big deal.
I assume you've covered this on Reddit by now. You've gone on
No,
there.
I did go make a comment on the Kickstarter. I was like,
oh, well, that's where you start.
Yeah, I was like, because I wanted to be sure. I was like, is this just? Did I just get like a weird one that they made orange, or is this what you intended? Because like even all the art in the game has it all right. I was like, why did you even do this? Like, why did you even bother?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to paint it, and it's not gonna have that clear plasticky look. So, yeah, these are the problems I have in my life now that the school year is finally over.
You have to wing it.
Yeah. Well, if it helps, that's what I do always. I've never scripted anything. Like I think I scripted my very first video, and I was like, "That's a lot of work. I'm not doing that anymore."
I script everything that all the other Danny productions. They're not that exciting, but I script all my intros and stuff. You could probably tell.
Oh, oh. Good.
Yes, let's blame Will.
I like it behind your right shoulder.
I got this right now. I can just put there.
There's like, oh
Nope, it won't. It won't stay if I put it there. It'll fall over, which would be funny.
We wouldn't want that.
No,
Kidding anyway.
no, you weren't. He was completely serious. You wanted that prime spot. I guess I could pull one of them out a little bit and then kind of set it on top. But
You could.
yeah, I would.
There are dozens of copies that need to be sold.
Yeah, in his house. What do you have? 40 copies in your house, Don?
I probably have 36 that aren't spoken for. No, not quite that.
Yeah, his extended family is desperately hoping he sells them because they would like another gift at some point for the next 10 years.
Other than
your
game.
Yeah, here's a copy of my game. Oh, thanks.
There's another. Oh, you already got one? That's okay. You can have another.
Thanks.
Did
you sign this one? You opened and signed this one. Wow, thanks. The resale. Thanks.